We chased him clear down to the park. We were gaining on him, but he had a block's head start.
Circle around and cut him off, Derry ordered.
Even out of condition, I was the best runner. I'll stay right behind him. I headed through the trees and cut him off halfway across the park. He veered off to the right, but I caught him in a flying tackle before he'd gone more than a couple of steps. Knocked the wind out of both of us. We lay there gasping for a minute or two, and then Soda sat up and brushed the grass off his shirt. You should have gone out for football instead of track. Where'd you think you were going? I lay flat on my back and looked at him. Derek came up and dropped down beside us. Soda shrugged. I don't know, it's just, I can't stand to hear y'all fight. Sometimes I have to get out or it's like I'm the middleman in the tug of war and I'm being split in half. You dig? Derek gave me a startled look. Neither of us had realized what it was doing to Soda to hear us fight. I was sick and cold with shame. What he said was the truth. Derry and I did play tug of war with him, and we never thought about how much it was hurting him. Soda was fiddling with some dead grass. I mean, I can't take sides. It'd be a lot easier if I could, but I see both sides. Derry yells too much and tries too hard and makes everything too serious. And Pony Boy, you don't think enough. You don't realize all Derry's giving up just to give you a chance he missed out on. He could have stuck you in a home somewhere, worked his way through college. Pony Boy, telling you the truth. I dropped out because I'm dumb. I really didn't try in school, but you saw my grades. Look, I'm happy working at a gas station with cars. You would never be happy doing something like that. And Derry, you gotta try to understand him more and quit blabbing him about every little mistake he makes. He feels things differently than you two. He gave us a pleading look. Go, you two! It's bad enough having to listen to it. When you start trying to get me to take sides... Tears welled up in his eyes. We're all that we got left. We've already got to stick together against everything. If we don't have each other, we don't have anything. If you don't have anything, you end up like Dallas. And I don't mean dead either. I mean like he was before. That's worse than dead. Please. He wiped his eyes on his arm. Don't fight anymore. Derry looked real worried. I only realized that Derry was only 20. He wasn't so much older that he couldn't feel scared or hurt or lost as the rest of us. I saw that I'd expected Derry to do all the understanding even without trying to understand him. And he had given up a lot for Soda and me. Shut up, buddy, Derry said softly. We're not going to fight anymore. Hey, Pony Boy, Soda gave me a tearful grin. Don't you start crying too. One ball baby in the family is enough. I'm not crying, I said. Maybe I was. I don't remember. Soda gave me a playful punch on the shoulder. No more fights, okay, Pony Boy? Derry said. Okay, I said, and I meant to. Derry and I probably would still have misunderstandings. We're too different not to, but no more fights. We couldn't do anything to hurt Soda. Soda Pop would always be the middleman, but that didn't mean he had to keep getting pulled apart. Instead of Derry and me pulling apart, he'd be pulling us together. Well, Soda said, I'm cold. How about going home? Race you, I challenged, leaping up. It was a real nice night for a race. The air was clear and cold and so clean it almost sparkled. The moon wasn't out yet, but the stars lit up everything. It was quiet except for the sound of our feet on the cement and the dry, scraping leaves blowing across the street. It was a real nice night. I guess I was still out of shape because we all three tied. No, I guess we all just wanted to stay together. I didn't want to do my homework that night, though. I hunted around for a book to read, and I'd read everything about in our house about 50 million times, even Derry's copy of The Carpetbaggers, though he told me I wasn't old enough to read it. I thought so, too, after I finished it. Finally, I picked up Gone with the Wind and looked at it for a long time. I knew Johnny was dead. I know it all the time, even when I was sick and pretending he wasn't. It was Johnny, not me, who had killed Bob. I knew that too. I just thought that maybe if I played like Johnny wasn't dead, it wouldn't hurt so much. The way Two-Bit after the police had taken Dowie's body away, griped because he lost his switchblade when they searched Dallas. Is that all that's bothering you, is that switchblade? A red-eyed Steve had snapped at him. No, Two-Bit said with a quivering sigh. But that's all I'm wishing it was bothering me. But it still hurt anyway. I mean, you know a guy a long time, and I mean, you really know him. You don't get just used to the idea that he's dead overnight. Johnny was something more than a buddy to all of us. I guess he listened to more beefs and more problems from more people than any of us. A guy that'll really listen to you, listen and care about you, what you're saying, is something rare. And I couldn't forget him telling me that he hadn't done enough, hadn't been out of our neighborhood all his life. And then it was too late. I took a deep breath and opened the book. A slip of paper fell out from it on the floor, and I picked it up. Pony Boy, ask the nurse to give you this book so you can finish it. It was Johnny's handwriting. I went right on, almost hearing Johnny's quiet voice. Doctor came in a while ago, but I knew anyway. I keep getting tireder and tireder. Listen, I don't mind dying now. It's worth it. It's worth saving those kids. Their lives are worth more than mine. They have more to live for. Some of their parents came by to thank me, and I know it's worth it. Tell Dally it's worth it. I'm just going to miss you guys. I've been thinking about it, that poem, that guy that wrote it. He meant that you're gold when you're a kid, like green. When you're a kid, everything's new, dawn. It's just when you get used to everything with its day. Like the way you dig sunsets, Pony. That's gold. Keep that way. It's a good way to be. Well, you tell Dally to look at one. He'll probably think you're crazy, but as for me, I don't think he's ever really seen a sunset. And don't be so bugged over being a greaser. You still have a lot of time to make yourself to be what you want. There's still a lot of good in the world. Tell Dally. I don't think he knows. Your buddy, Johnny. Tell Dally? It was too late to tell Dally. Would he have listened? I doubted it. Suddenly it wasn't only a personal thing to me. I could picture hundreds and hundreds of boys living on the wrong sides of cities. Boys with black eyes who jumped at their own shadows. Hundreds of boys who maybe watched sunsets and looked at stars and ached for something better. I could see boys going down under streetlights because they were mean and tough and hated the world, and it was too late to tell them they were still good, and they wouldn't believe you if you did. It was too vast a problem to just be a personal thing. There should be some help. Someone should tell it before it was too late. Someone should tell their side of the story, and maybe, just maybe, people wouldn't understand then, and wouldn't be so quick to judge a boy by the amount of hair oil he wore. It was important to me. I picked up the phone book and called my English teacher. Hey, Mr. Seam, this Pony Boy, that theme, how long can it be? Why, not less than 5 pages. He sounded a little surprised. I'd forgotten it was late at night. Well, can it be longer? Well, certainly, Pony Boy, as long as you want it. Thanks, I said and hung up. I sat down, picked up my pen, and thought for a minute. Remembering a handsome, dark boy with a reckless grin and a hot temper. A tough, tow-headed boy with a cigarette in his mouth and a bitter grin on his hard face. Remembering, and this time it didn't hurt, a quiet, defeated-looking 16-year-old whose hair needed cutting badly and who had black eyes with a frightened expression to them. 1 week had taken all 3 of them, and I decided I could tell people, beginning with my English teacher. I wondered for a long time how to start that theme, how to start writing about it, something that important to me, and I finally had started to begin like this. When I stepped out into the bright sunlight from the darkness of the movie house, I had only 2 things on my mind: Paul Newman and a ride home.